All right, we are live on YouTube. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. Glad you could all join us here tonight. It is Friday night. Welcome to the show. I know it's a late show, but we had to get this one in. It is day 4 of the Positivity Challenge here, the life-changing Positivity Challenge. I've got my wonderful, beautiful, amazing lady with me here live already on the StreamYard. Hello, baby. Welcome to the show.
Hello, all my beautiful people out there.
Yeah, let me get situated here, baby. I was rushing to put this show together, but I'm glad we were able to do it and keep the trend going here, keep the positive trend going. Baby, before we get to it, let me first of all make sure that the YouTube notification has gone out, and it looks like it has gone out. Let me also check out the back end of YouTube and make sure that everything is rolling smoothly. And it absolutely is. Baby, how's the TV rocking and rolling there? Can you see the chat clearly?
There's weird stuff going on here.
What weird stuff?
Oh, there are ads.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought I logged in with my YouTube premium account, but it'll be fine. It'll catch up here. There we are.
There
is it clear?
You are, handsome.
The chat,
yeah, you're totally clear.
Wow. Fantastic, baby. Well, let's get right to it, baby. This is day 4 of the 30-day Positivity Challenge, and I've subtitled this stream Amazing Day because you and I had an amazing day today. I know you wanted to come on for a little bit. We're only going to be on probably for about 45 minutes tonight, and I know you may only be on for about 15 or 20. I know you're pretty tired. We had a very eventful day. We went out to the Fresno area to meet up with your mother for lunch, and it's a 3-hour drive there.
I will say my mother does not live in Fresno. It was just a mutual destination.
Yeah, right. No, absolutely. And we went to, we're not going to mention the name of the restaurant, obviously, but we went to this really awesome restaurant out there with great food at a very, very reasonable price, I'll tell you. And here in the San Francisco Bay Area, that place would have cost at least 2.5 to 3 times as much. So, when we go out of the area, baby, out of the beautiful, amazing San Francisco Bay Area where we live, we can find quality places for about a third of the cost. Isn't that a little nice break?
That happens in Sacramento a lot too.
Sure, it does.
I love Sacramento, and they have some great places like in their surrounding cities like Folsom or, Carmichael. They've got some great restaurants out there.
Absolutely. We decided to go live at the very last minute.
We just live in a great state that, I'm sorry to interrupt you. We live in a great state that we love great food. We love great atmosphere.
We love great people.
Great entertainment. And, it was even nice to see that place we were at today was dog friendly.
Yeah.
And there was a dog in there. I just love to see how these places are advancing to society,
Yeah, in California. Go ahead.
What? No, I was going to say, and that's what I fell in love with Sacramento when I previously lived out there about 10 years ago, is that they were so dog friendly everywhere.
Absolutely. It's really nice to see California growing, especially Northern California. Just driving through Fresno. My brother used to go to Fresno State University, the Bulldogs, almost 30 years ago. And, driving through those streets that were empty back then, just a bunch of land, and to see, restaurants and businesses and civilization. Yeah, it's just amazing how much Fresno has exploded. And yeah, we had a great time there. We'll get a little more into it here in just a second. But anyway, folks, this is day 4 of the 30-day positivity challenge. And what we're doing here this month here on Coach Eli 2 Authentic live streams is, 30 days of asking each and every one of you that comes into our chats to keep things positive. We don't have a problem if you want to discuss something you're struggling with. Even if it involves somebody else, we just ask you to leave the name out and to not attack these people and to just share with us what's going on so we can positively encourage you to turn it around and, look at it from a positive light and, ignore stupid things and just move forward. And what we're going to do, baby, at the end of the 30 days on November 30th, during the first week of December, we're going to choose the MPP, which is the most positive person. And, that most positive person will also get some special incentive from us that we're not going to mention until after the contest is over, because we want people to do this not for the incentive, but more so to better yourselves and to better your lives. What are your thoughts about that, babe?
Oh, I think that's fantastic, babe. I think that's a great idea. And I think even like, because we are going to be going to my family's house on Thanksgiving, we're going to
Right.
have to do a show out there. And I think that's going to be another great thing, just to talk about family and acceptance and everything that my mom was talking about today.
Right. And if you don't mind, let's get a little bit into that. I know we're probably not going to have a whole lot of people here tonight. We only have 2 people here right now, and maybe a few more will show up. But hey, the rest of you can catch this on the replay. It was a last-minute show we put together. But today, when we met with your mother for lunch, a bunch
For
of
her
amazing
birthday,
for her
happy
birthday.
birthday, mama.
Happy birthday, Mama. Um, a bunch of amazing things happened. And
Ugh.
I don't know if you want me to lead into it and then just, share your thoughts. I know you're a little bit tired. I can go through the events
Oh
in
no, I
chronological.
can I can handle it. Like, yeah, that's fine. Um, I think everybody has known from the story, my quote unquote story that I shared, that
Hmm.
I've been having problems with my daughter. We're kind of estranged. And one thing we had in our family every year was Thanksgiving. That was our tradition. Everybody came to Thanksgiving from our family. And this year, my daughter is choosing not to show up because I'm going to be there. And my mom let me know that today. And it was a shocker. It shook me. It literally shook me, but I'm getting to a point to realize that she needs help. She
Okay.
is now destroying not only the relationship between me and her, but between the rest of her family and
Yeah.
possibly her husband, future
Her
husband, I should say.
future husband. Yeah. And she's not realizing that. And, what was interesting, babe, when we met up with your mother treated me like another son. I was really blown away. I felt very blessed, and I still feel very blessed. And when we met your mother the first time, almost a year ago, um, it was a very interesting time. She had
And
actually,
a different experience.
well, yeah, and she had also checked out some of my YouTube stuff, and I was talking about a lot of the things we ended up talking about today, or she actually brought these things up in a positive way. Um, And I was just cool and calm, and I didn't let it get to me because I understood, what she, how she felt. I understood what she was going through with you and your daughter, and she's just trying to keep peace, amongst the entire family, and she's trying to keep her husband happy, your dad, and
My
you know,
brothers,
your brothers, and
my
all of
my
that.
nieces, my nephew, my
Yeah,
sister-in-law, like just keep them out of the conflict. That's what it
right,
is.
right. And, when I first met you, I just knew you were the one. I knew that you had the biggest heart and soul, and I still feel you do. But what really, got to me was when you started telling me about, you and your daughter, and we started to dissect the situation. And I started to share my thoughts. And this was when you were working in retail management back in those days.
Mhm.
And you would listen to my walking streams as you were working, and they really,
Yes,
uplifted you and, made you feel good about yourself, right? Because it was positive and uplifting stuff. But I was also
absolutely.
I was also talking about what I felt, could be happening with your daughter, who, is 27 years old. She's a millennial. No disrespect, but she's a millennial, right?
Mhm.
And you know, everything I was mentioning back then, saying, hey, it's not your fault. And, she's practically been handed everything to her. It was interesting today, you and your mother even said that, you know,
The two
you
of
and
us
I,
fucked up basically.
well, no, you didn't. No, I wouldn't go that far. I mean, you ladies were being
No,
really
she
honest.
no,
Go
she
ahead.
basically said we spoiled that little girl.
Rotten.
Rotten.
Right.
And this is
Right.
why she's acting the way she is, and that's what my mom was getting across today. She
Right. And
realized it when my daughter said, "I'm not coming to Thanksgiving because my mother's gonna be there."
right.
Like
Right.
my mom said, "Excuse you?
Mhm.
Excuse you? Like seriously, who do you think you are?"
Right. 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 And what I was saying back in those days, which is it's just amazing how today your mother just basically owned up to all that, and it was just a blessing to, be
She was
there to
woke.
hear all that. Yeah, well,
Ah, she
okay,
got woke.
I guess you can call it that. I was saying that, your mother was trying to make up for, what she missed out through you, and you're trying to make up what you're, what you felt, was lacking in your upbringing, and you both basically were trying to make up for, the lack of what you both felt you were missing, you and your mother, through your daughter. And in the process, we all didn't know this back in those days, that the millennial generation was going to be dubbed the most spoiled and entitled generation in history. And
Can I
I mean, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, can I just tell you how spoiled and entitled I did this? Is that there was an Easter that we were up at my parents' house, and my parents and I got into a fight.
Okay.
This was back when I was married, and we were supposed to do Easter for the kids up there. All the baskets and everything was there, but we got into a fight, so we left. My ex-husband put us all in the car and we left. Do you know what I did? The
What's
next
that?
day, I went to Target and I bought my son the Wii. I don't even know what I bought my daughter, but she just wanted clothes. But I got him a Wii. You know what those are.
Yes, the
Uh,
Nintendo Wii, right?
yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
but usually Easter baskets are filled with peanut butter cups and jelly beans, and I made up for it with a Wii and clothes for my daughter.
Wow.
That's what I did. That's how I spoiled them, and I made them feel better for my mistakes.
Yeah. And in the process of doing all
'Cause
of
I
that,
had to tell them. I literally told them. I'm like, "I am so sorry, guys, but the Easter Bunny was coming to grab me and Papa's, and now I've gotta go and get you something else because Easter Bunny wasn't prepared in
oh, yeah.
Halls." Yeah, in where we lived.
So let's continue where we left off, babe. So, yeah, you were sharing, how you basically, you and your mother, had spoiled, your little girl rotten. And basically, what you both, I think, realize today is that you were doing it for the right reasons because you have a lot of love. You and your mother are very, very loving and nurturing women. But I think you're realizing now that the one thing that you both didn't teach this young lady is, learning responsibility.
Responsibility.
Yeah, teaching her responsibility.
Mhm.
And that's like the biggest lesson to teach someone. And I think that's what's been happening nowadays um, with a lot of the millennials and maybe some of the Gen Zers is that they're
Well,
being raised in the same way and they're not learning responsibility.
and you know what? I wanna hold myself accountable because I think the divorce had a lot to do with that because they didn't have the same type of parenting at the same time, you know? Because he was single, I was single, like, we weren't, like, collaborating together, and I think that really messed with the kids.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It probably did. It probably did a bit, but honestly, I don't really think, in my opinion, the divorce was the major factor in,
No,
you know,
no, because you know what? I'm sorry, but I know a ton of millennials that are friends with my daughter that have their shit together. They have their lives together. They have means, motive, and passion to live, and they have a purpose in life.
right.
I really do believe that children of divorce are affected greatly.
I think they're
Like,
affected to a certain extent, baby. Go ahead.
well, I just think they just don't know. Like, okay, so when you have two parents that are married and raising children, they usually have the same mindset. And so the children are brought up like that and they feel peace with that. But when
Right.
there's a divorce, the children don't know which parent to side with. Which one is the better? We put them in a position of choosing at times,
Right.
when that separation happens. And I think a lot of that happened with my kids and in the fact that and I've said this in my story, my ex-husband is a police officer. I won't say where for.
Hmm.
But after my divorce, I hooked up with somebody that was not very law abiding, and that might have been the detriment to my kids' trust in me.
Yeah, but baby, here's the thing. Everybody makes mistakes,
Oh,
and your daughter makes mistake.
absolutely.
Do you mind if I? I know you're really, really passionate about this, but let me get a few words in, if that's okay with you, because I really love this
Yeah,
story
yeah, yeah,
and I was a
go.
part of it. And I want to pay you the props that you deserve to hear as well. Everybody goes through, bad relationships. Everyone makes poor choices. You making a poor choice with a man or any man is not a good enough reason for, one of your kids to, disown you or, ignore you or whatever she's doing. Right. And that's
Well,
just a piss poor.
especially since she had the same kind of man in her life prior to her fiance. And her dad and I had to rescue her and move her out of that place.
Right, so she should be a little more understanding.
Yeah.
If you use common sense and logic and reasoning, baby, that would make sense. But with no disrespect intended,
I
women
mean, this
cross
man
it.
like almost ran her over and held her hostage in her house. And
Right.
I had to call my ex-husband, and he got his best friend, who was his partner in the academy, to go out there and get my daughter
Okay.
because I was still in Sacramento at the time. I couldn't get to her fast
Right.
enough,
Right. But
you
here's
know?
the
But
here's the. Go ahead, baby, because I wanted to finish
you
saying
know,
what I
I
was
was
saying. It
saying
was very
she's calling me frightened, and this is what we had to do. And I just really wish she would have learned that, yes, we all make mistakes and bad choices with somebody we choose. I literally was sitting in Sacramento at the nursing place because I was going to do my nursing license. And I was talking to her, and she was like, "Mom, I don't know what I should do. He has a child. Should I get involved?" And I was like, and she was like 18 at the time. And I was like, I don't know if you want to just take on somebody else's kid. That's kind of crazy at this age.
right.
But
At
then
that
when I
age, it
met
would
this
be
little girl, yeah, but then when I met this little girl, I fell in love with her,
right.
you know?
Yeah.
And I couldn't help but say, yeah, she can be my little grandbaby if that happens. But
Go
it
ahead.
didn't, and I'm glad it didn't because he was horrible, and I'm glad that my ex-husband and his partner took care of shit and made sure that that guy would never ever contact Ashley. Oh, well, I've said her name, Ashley again. My daughter's name is Ashley. It's the most common name in the world.
You've said it many times in the past, and it's already been put out there, so that's okay. It's not a big deal. Now, what I was going to say, baby, um, is that she experienced a similar type of relationship as you did. A very
Yes, with
abusive relationship. Yeah, baby, I
yeah,
know. I
with
know you're
the
very
guy right after my ex.
right now. Now, here's the thing. Um, Now, please, I know this is very, emotional to you, and I know you want to jump in and share the story. But can I share this thought
Yes.
here before you jump in because it's very, very important. So, she basically experienced a similar type of relationship as you did. I remember you saying that, she also lived with you and this guy that abused you. So she saw that hands on. Then she got into a relationship just like that. And if she is, holding that against you, that's not a good reason to stop talking to your mother. Basically, if you look at it from a logical standpoint, if you look at this from a reasonable, logical standpoint, it's not a good enough reason. But like I've said before, and I say this respectfully, baby, women respond to everything emotionally first based on how they're feeling in the present moment. And maybe what happened is, this triggered her emotions because she went through it and doesn't ever want to go through it again. And maybe she's assuming if you went out with a guy like that, you might go out with a guy like that again. But still, none of this, um, you know, is detrimental enough from your end or anyone in your situation for their daughter to completely just not want anything to do with you. And so, there's a lot more to what's going on. Now, your mother, when we were talking today, and God bless your mother, what an amazing lady. She came
Thank
out.
you.
You're welcome. She came, and you're an amazing lady too. And I see where you get that from. And I really do see that. Your mother even told me that she loved me today. I told her the same thing. I said, I look forward to, coming to your household for Thanksgiving, and thank you for inviting myself, and your daughter. And so, um, it was a beautiful moment. And then she started to talk about, your daughter not deciding to not come because you and I are going. And at this point right now, your mother and your father are pretty livid. I mean, they're handling it maturely, of course, but they're very unhappy. And your mother came out today and basically said, "Hey, little girl," because you're her little girl. She
Mm-hmm.
said, "It's not your fault. You're a beautiful woman. It's not your fault. Don't let this get to you. At some point down the road, she'll come back and she'll realize it." And what I said is that
Are
she's
you
going
kidding
to,
me? My mother literally said if I would have done this to her,
Mhm.
I would have been dead to her. She would never have come back to me because it's so disrespectful to treat your mother like this.
It is. It really is. It really is. And again, like when we talked in the past, I don't know if, after that bad relationship, and then she got into one, I don't know if, her father, your ex-husband, the cop, got into her head or started to incentivize her to stay away from you. We don't know what he's done, but I can certainly assume he has done something to try to, keep you away from her. But at this point right now, she's 27 years old. She's a grown ass woman, and she should be
Well,
making her own
yeah, I
decisions.
mean, yeah, when the divorce happened, she was 13. So he was able to keep her away from me during the time from 13 to 18.
Right.
And that's when she moved in with me. And, it's like he doesn't have any more control over her, but now she's flipped the script. And now I'm the enemy.
Yeah. And it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. It doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean,
Doesn't make any sense to my mother.
no, I mean, you making a few poor choices. She's made poor choices. I've made poor choices. Your mother and father have made poor choices. Everyone makes poor choices in life. But for a family
Are
member,
you
especially a
kidding
daughter,
me? Ashley and I have made poor choices together in the
okay,
same room.
yes,
You know?
I do.
It's
I do
like
know.
it's ridiculous
Right, right.
that I'm held at this level. Like, I get it. If the nursing board wants to hold me at a certain level, that's great. Okay, I get it. But my child, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, yeah. Now,
Like,
baby,
like my mother was so like honestly, my mom was so upset today. And she's like, if any of my kids did this, they'd be done to me.
right.
But you know what? She raised three beautiful children. One of them gave her a kidney.
Yeah, one of your brothers, absolutely. And
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. But let's move this forward because I know, we've been on
I'm getting
for.
triggered.
No, you're not getting triggered. We're at 31 minutes, minus whatever glitch we had, probably about 29 minutes, and I know you want to wrap it up and go to bed soon. But there's a positive ending to the story today. Number one, I think for the first time since I've been with you, your mother came out and gave you exactly what you've wanted. You wanted to hear from your mother that
that I was
you know
accepted.
you're accepted by the family. Number one, number two, that it's not your fault what's going on with your daughter, and now your mother has seen this happen long enough, and your mother even told me, she goes, I consider you like family because my daughter's been through a lot, and I know how challenging she can be. I know how her emotions are. And you stood by her, and I respect that. And I'm very, very just happy that you two are together, and you're welcome in my house anytime. And when she told me that, I know how that made you feel. I know how that made me feel. It gave you the validation from your mother that you've needed and you've been seeking for the year plus since you and I have been together. Go ahead. What's so funny?
And yeah, no, and it just gave me the validation that I am the number one baby girl in that house. And Ashley didn't take my spot because
Hmm.
Ashley's acting like a, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, we know. We know.
So, and when she was telling me this, it showed me they accepted me back despite everything I've gone through. And they know that I've pushed through so hard to be better, and they can see it. They can see the positivity in me, and they
Hmm.
see it because I have you in my life.
I appreciate that. I mean, honestly, babe, hearing that from you is golden. Hearing that from the woman that gave you birth is mind blowing. And I'm not trying to put your mother on a further pedestal than I practically put you on. And it's okay, once you are really close with your lady and you're going to be together
Oh, I
forever.
put your
There's not
mother on a pedestal.
No, I understand. But what I'm saying is that for guys, typically you're not supposed to put a woman on a pedestal, at least not early on. There's nothing wrong with every so often putting her on a pedestal, and you don't have to do it all day every day, but like the way your mother treated me today was like a second mother.
Yeah.
And that's
Uh,
that that to me was an incredible feeling. Go ahead, baby. I know you're
yeah, I
jumping
was
in, and
gonna say
I'm
like
losing my
how,
verbiage here.
yeah, no, I was gonna say how she brought up the first encounter, the first lunch with you. And I was like, oh, yeah, that was so traumatizing for Eli. She's like,
Well,
nah, that was traumatizing for you. And she was right.
yeah, yes, and I handled it quite well, and I understood why she was reacting that way. It was because of a lot of the stuff that I was talking about on YouTube. She didn't know me that well yet, and also, you had a history, of dating the wrong guys, especially that one guy, and they wanted to make sure that I was going to be around, and this was going to be consistent, you know, for a little
And
while
that's what she
before.
said today.
Right. So we've been together now for what, almost 15 months, a year and 3 months, and you know, um,
Well,
it's
you
just
know what? I'm
it's
going to
like
be
night and day.
honest with you, baby.
Hmm.
She told me a long time ago. It was when I had that panic attack at Alum Rock here when we were doing that hike.
Hmm.
And like I had you pull over in that parking
Parking
lot,
lot, the parking lot. Yeah,
and I was talking to her and she could hear you. She knew immediately then you were with me till the end, because
yeah.
she's like, anybody else would have ran, you know? That's a scary situation.
Real quick, baby. Angie sees in the house. A mother's love is so special. Thank you for that compliment, that comment there, Angie C. Welcome to the show. My lady and I are talking
Welcome.
about our special birthday lunch that we spent with my lady's mother today. We took a 3-hour drive out to the valley from the Bay Area to meet with her at one of her favorite restaurants, and it's just so many great things happened
It
here
was
that
pleasanty, like, it was, like, so pleasant, like, I didn't know what it was gonna be like, but it was such a great restaurant.
no, it was. And I want to share how this coincides with the 30-day positivity challenge. It's a positive thing when everything that you and I have been trying to work through as individuals and together. Like, I've been really trying to work with you to help you work through the issues with your daughter, and with your mother, because there were times where you thought there was an issue with your mother, but there never was. I just don't think your mother had enough history on myself and what's really going on with your daughter. She had to see it for herself, and now that she sees it, she's coming out. Hold on a second, baby. She's coming out, and she's saying, "Hey, little girl, you're my little girl. You're my firstborn. It's not your fault." She's gonna figure this out at some point, but your father and I are not happy about it. The family's not happy about it, and just stay
Well,
strong.
yeah, it puts both of my brothers in a, awkward position because they love me and they love her. So,
Yeah.
it's like, what are they supposed to do? I mean, families are supposed to be together, and my daughter is just being immature right now, and that's how I'm gonna leave that. She's being very immature. I love her to death, and I wish she could just get woke really quick.
Um. Well, I think she's already woke. I think you want to do the opposite. You
No,
wanted
I need her
to.
to be woke about life.
Well, you need her to wake up. Basically, the word woke has
Yes.
a different type of derogatory meaning about being privileged and stuff like that. The slang is, get woke, go broke, right? And so I get what you're
Yeah.
saying. You wish she would wake up and smell the
Wake
coffee. Now,
the fuck up.
okay, now moving along here, your mother, after we finished eating, your mother and I and
We
yourself,
were there
we
for like 3.5 hours. That was great.
we were there for about 2.5 hours or so, 2.5 to 3 hours. Your mother, myself, and you, um, we were all outside in the parking lot, and your mother mentioned something I never ever thought I would hear. Now we got to be careful not to mention his name. If you do by mistake, maybe I will dump the delay. But here's the thing: your mother was talking about your little girl's fiance, and
Mhm.
I had talked about this guy in the past about. With no disrespect, he's a nice guy. I never met him, but I
I
just,
love him. I
yeah, but
absolutely love
but
him.
but but he's got a lot of beta male tendencies. Good guy, just
He's got
not
a lot of
strong
work
enough.
to do.
He has never stood up to your daughter regarding anything. And here's the thing: this guy lost his father at a young age and was raised by his mother. So I understand a little bit of the lack of the masculinity and stuff. But he's 34 years old. By this age, I mean, he should be figuring out that, hey, you know what? If something isn't right, even if it's with somebody I'm dating or engaged to, I've got to stand up for myself and have some fucking balls. And so,
Yeah.
I was always saying back then, it's funny, like everything that your mother said today, I've been saying this over a year ago. This is how good my
Oh,
intuition is.
over a year ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
over a year ago, right? And I was saying that, look, you know, if I was in his shoes dating your daughter,
We'll just call
and
him N.
okay,
Just
that's
call him
fine.
N.
We don't need to call him anything. Just call him, the fiance. So if I was dating your daughter, engaged to your daughter, and she was treating you this way as her fiance, I would say, you know what, babe, I need to talk with you about something. I'm really not thrilled with the way you're treating your mother. And she might come back and say, well, that's your problem. Tough luck. Tough luck. No, I would say no. It's not tough luck. I'm not going to put up with this shitty attitude. That's your mother. I love my mother. My mother raised me because my father passed away, and she did a great job. And I would never disrespect my mother. And
I
you're
was
disrespecting.
employed by him. He loves me. I was
I know,
employed by him.
I know. But let me finish before I lose my train of thought. So, furthermore, I would say, I love my mother, and I would never ever treat her that way. And the fact that you're treating your mother this way doesn't sit well with me at all. Because if you're going to be the mother to our kids, I don't want to have kids with someone, that's going to treat their mother this way. And she might, have a spat, and she might say, well, you know what? You got to deal with it, because you know what? This is what I want, and this is all I'm going to do, right? In that
I
situation, he's got to stand up and say, babe, I love you, but again, I don't like this attitude. You need to turn this around immediately, or there's a
or
door.
we're done.
Don't let it hit your ass on the way out. Right? You see,
Bye.
the thing is, the truth of the matter when it comes to your daughter is no one has ever held her accountable for her actions, and she's been allowed to get away with murder, practically, figuratively speaking. That is,
And
of course, right?
I take
Right,
complete responsibility for that.
right, right, right. And but the thing is this, you know, as a man, this 34-year-old man who's engaged to your 27-year-old daughter, and he works hard, has a good job, he's providing, right? Okay. He doesn't
Got
need
her
to
a
put up,
fucking job.
he doesn't, okay, okay. Well, baby, can we try to keep this, let's keep it a little more
Oh,
professional with viewer,
sorry.
because this is a positivity show, baby.
It
I
is
understand
positive, but
there's a
you know what?
positive ending
It's
to it.
just, sweetheart, it is a positive show, but we are reflecting on what we did today and what my
Hmm.
mother has told me about my daughter and how she's acting. So I have to be real. Like, she
I,
is not acting in the right way as a
no, she's
human
not.
being.
You know why she's not acting in the right way, in my opinion, is because no one ever taught her the right way to handle these. No one ever held her accountable for her
And I
actions.
was just accepting responsibility for that.
Yeah, your mother, maybe your father at times, anyone that
No,
she's
my dad, no, not my dad. My dad he's always strict. No, it was more me and my mom.
okay. So you and your mother babied her, and basically now her fiance is babying her, and basically all of you gave her whatever she wanted just to kind of shut her up and keep her quiet, right? Because all she would have to do is
Yeah.
whine and complain, and then you would do whatever it takes. See, at that point,
Well, she was just so cute. Like, we didn't even have to, like, she didn't have to do anything. We just gave her whatever she wanted.
okay, well, that's why women that are hot think they can get away with everything just because they're hot, and that's just not the right way to look at it, babe. It's not.
Ah, you are so on point with that. Damn it.
Yeah. Well, baby, you try to pull that on me. I'm just kind of joking, maybe a little bit, but
No,
but
I'm a hot as fuck.
I understand that. I understand that. But for me, as I've gotten older, and even when I was younger too, for the most part, yeah, I wanted an attractive woman, but I would never, go out with an attractive woman, even if she wanted to go out with me, if she had a crappy attitude, right? There's more to life than just looks. So the cutesy wootsy thing never really worked on me.
Well,
And that's,
that's some yeah, that's something we talked to my mom about. today is like that, looks fade, but you gotta have heart and soul and be in love with that person.
Right, right, right. No, I totally understand that. I totally understand that. But yeah, your mother in the parking lot was saying that she wished this guy would grow a set and call her out, call your daughter out. And at this point right now, your daughter's 27. At this point right now, my if I had to guess based on my past life experiences in dealing with people and just seeing these situations, he's the only one that can turn things around to the point of where he can come out and say, "Look, we're
Yeah,
talking
because
about
I
your
said a name I shouldn't have
you,
said.
well, you basically were saying that your ex-husband is going to have to, pay for the wedding, and you were talking about something in that aspect.
Well, I was talking about the fact that she expects that to happen. And, she shouldn't. Like, honestly, she shouldn't because like, that's why I think I should reach out to him and be like, dude, this little girl of ours is trying to be an entitled little bitch. She's a bridezilla, and I don't want to contribute to that. And, you and I have money to contribute to it, but we won't. We won't because I don't support it.
Okay. No, I hear what you're saying, Dave. I was just making sure that the stream went back online, and it did. Um, my honest thoughts here is this. This really has nothing to do with anything besides her wanting to get what she feels she's entitled to. This is what I'm going to say. And so let me explain to you what I think, is going to really matter. He's mentioning some things, that
I'm very
are private.
passionate right now.
And so she's not taking into consideration that she's live on the air because, again, I had to let some things, I had to dump the delay basically. So, some
Well,
things that,
sometimes I forget, like, because we're in a relationship, we talk all the time. Sometimes I forget when we're live or when we're
Mhm.
just talking normal, you know? Like, especially on the phone.
I understand. We're live on the air, and I think you know that, but I think you're you're
Oh,
you're
I
really
know that, but sometimes I forget it.
that's okay. So let me go ahead and share a few other things here. So basically, you know, I think the only thing right now that matters to your little girl is what she can get that'll better herself. Like somebody or any person that is giving to her, contributing to her, whether it's financially or in some other way towards the wedding or whatever. That's where she's focused at. So I think the only
She's very
person,
vain. She's very
well,
vain.
maybe so, but that's not the point I'm trying to make. Is that if you want to correct this type of behavior, you've got to hit the person where it hurts them the most.
Cut him
And
off.
in this case, it's the man that she's with, and it's the man that's going to be providing for her. It's the man that's going to be the father of her kids, you know, and that's right there, right then and there. That
You know,
is.
okay, I get what you're saying. I don't mean to interrupt you. I get what
Mhm.
you're saying, but it's also her father. When your dad cuts you off, that's that's literally like getting your throat cut.
Yeah, but baby, look. when a women that still believe in marriage and relationships, which I want to believe most women still believe in relationships and marriage. When a woman reaches her late 20s, as your daughter is in, and the biological clock starts to tick, the most important thing to her right now is that man that she's with, and going through with that wedding and having children and him being a provider. Because another thing,
Yes.
when it comes to your daughter, she went to college and she got, she got a designation to basically, get into the career that you all thought she
That she
loved.
wanted.
And she's not, you guys spent a lot of money on that. And now she's not doing that. She wasn't working for a little while. And now she's working practically a minimum wage job. And that minimum wage job, you told me, because you found out from your mother day, you told me that minimum wage job is like an hour and 20-minute drive each way to from where she lives with her fiance. And it doesn't make sense to do all that. I like a lot of the things, and I'm not trying to be rude, I'm just saying a lot of the
No,
things that she's doing,
we're just trying to be logical.
a lot of the things that she's doing doesn't make sense, because like, why are you going to work a minimum wage job an hour and 20 minutes away? That's a 2-hour and 40-minute round trip each day. When you're gonna waste a lot of money on gas. And to me, it's like, okay, is she even going back home to stay with him, or is she staying with friends in the area where she's working?
She might be staying with her father.
Okay, she could be staying with her.
Sometimes.
Okay. But if you're this, let's look at this further. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just saying I'm on your side. I love you, and I'm on your
Oh
mother's side
no,
too.
yeah, no, but I if I'm a woman and I'm engaged to a man, I
You'd be with
want to
him
be
every
in
night.
his bed every night.
Every night. You want to be in my bed every night, and we're going to get married, one day. We're not at the level where, your daughter is with, her fiance, but, we're pretty close to that. And we spend
We'll
most
probably
nights
get
together.
married before them.
Possibly, yeah, but we're not here to talk about us. I'm here to say that, none of her behavior is making any sense here. It doesn't make any sense. Uh, why would you want? She sounds lost and needs prayer. It needs your prayer. Yeah. Well, we do pray.
Yes.
Angie, we do pray.
Let's all pray for her.
We do pray for her, and we want to help her, but you can't help someone that's not open to the help. You just can't, right? The best thing you can do in this situation is to let that person go. But the other issue is, that's my lady's daughter, and my lady misses her daughter. So it's hard for my lady to just let her go and figure things out on her own. But that seems to be the only possible thing.
Yeah, I don't even know how to live life without her. And this is so hard. And like my mom said today, she literally said, if I would have done this to her, I would have been dead to her.
Figuratively
Like
speaking. Yeah. Figuratively speaking. Yeah.
figuratively speaking.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
She would not put up with this bullshit. And I shouldn't put up with it either.
No.
And
And
I said I want to freaking shake the shit out of her.
well, baby, that's not a nice thing to say. That's not. Baby, here's the
No,
thing.
you know what I mean, but when I say that, I want to shake the stupid out and get her back to reality.
I understand. Now let's continue here, because we're going to be wrapping this up soon. So, your mother, you know, basically came out and said the same thing I've been saying about your daughter's fiance, that, he needs to grow a set. He needs to grow some balls, and he needs to basically call her out, almost give her an ultimatum and say, look, I love my mother. I would never
Well,
treat my mother this way. I don't want to hold on, baby. Is it okay if I get, and I'm not
yeah,
trying to be
go,
rude. I
go,
know
go, go, go,
I
go.
know you're in
Yeah,
a highly
I'm
emotional.
just agreeing with you. I was just saying, yeah.
Okay. So if I was him, I would be like, I love my mother. I would never treat her this way. And I don't want to date, let alone marry someone, spend the rest of my life with someone that's going to treat their mother this way. I don't condone this behavior. I want nothing to do with it. You need to change your attitude quick. And she might say, well, what are you
I,
going to do if I don't? Well, there's a door. Don't
yeah,
let it hit your ass on the way out. Right? Seriously,
yeah.
that's
I
what needs
mean,
to be that's what needs to be done.
and he is very close with his mother,
Right.
and she is very close with her, and so it shocks me that she's gonna let this go, and it just seems like she's just choosing another mom because she's got 3 different moms to choose from. She's got
No.
her birth, she's got her fiance's mom, and she's got her dad's, you know, new wife. So she
and
can
and
choose
and
whoever
your
she wants.
and your and she had your mother, her grandma, as well too.
Oh,
But
yeah.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, but
yeah, but here's the thing,
Grammy's
baby.
done.
No, I understand, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. Your daughter's fiance's mother, from what you shared with me, is a very nice woman that is
She is.
easily manipulated. And I think the reason why she's spending more time with her is because she
She
can play
wants
her
to
game.
help her. She wants to
Who,
help her.
she wants to help her. Who your daughter's
My daughter,
fiance's mom?
my fiance's or my
Your daughter's
daughter's fiance's
fiance's mom.
mom wants to help my daughter
In what way?
in a way that she feels accepted and loved because of the divorce.
Okay, so basically, in a way that's beneficial um, to your daughter. Um, how much? I mean, you love her. Your mother, her grandma, loves her. Like, what is she giving your daughter that you guys aren't? Money? Other materialistic things
No,
that you're not giving her. Like, what is it?
it's the fact that she wasn't a part of the divorce and separation and the court cases and what was being said. She was completely neutral afterwards.
That's you know what, baby? I love you and your mother, and I am with you here throughout all this. And you and I are gonna have an amazing life. But I honestly think that's all hogwash. I honestly think,
Well, it's
you know,
hard with a 13-year-old to think that that's hogwash because they don't know what they're thinking at that age.
I understand that. But by the time they hit 27 and they've matured, they should learn to let that shit go and
Yes,
understand that
you're
people make
right.
mistakes because she makes mistakes. She's a grown adult. The bottom line is, babe, your daughter's very smart. It sounds like she's very manipulative. She knows who she can get things from and who she can't get things from, and that's what's
Yeah,
happening
she
here
is
in my opinion. With
literally, like, literally, my mom is a tree. I am one of the fruits, and Ashley is the other one that falls from the tree.
Mhm.
Like, we are all, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. What I'm trying to say is this: is that your daughter's fiance's mother, and you've talked with me about her. Sounds like a very nice lady, but it
I
sounds like
love her.
she's very vulnerable and gullible and easy to manipulate. And your daughter knows that, and that's what I think is going on. Because look, if you she wants to marry her son that's making good money, is going to be the provider. In my opinion, he's going to be the beta male provider, because unless he grows a spine and some balls and calls her out on this petty behavior, I mean, it's like
Well,
I don't.
apparently he called her out on something because he put her back to work. Because she was unemployed,
Well, you
and
know what?
he made her go back to work.
You want to know what it could be? She was probably spending a lot of his money, and probably just he initially was probably giving her whatever she wanted to keep her happy, and then the money started to deplete, and maybe it
Well,
affected them
and
from paying their
and they have
bills.
a wedding. They have a wedding in like a year, literally a year from now. So you have to be frugal with your money.
Well, you don't. All right. We should be back live. My lady's not going to be coming back here. I just talked with her. She's okay. She's a little bit tired and a little bit emotional over the whole situation. So I'm going to wrap up this show here tonight. We had an amazing positive day with her mother. Her mother gave her the nurturing love in a way unlike anything I've ever seen. And, I'm at a loss for words right now. I'm at a loss for words because my lady came out here tonight and was so raw and real. And all I've been trying to do is protect her from people that want to find out who she is and just try to kick her down and attack her. And, I cut many parts of the show out. I dumped the delay many times because I really love this woman with all my heart. But there was nothing that she said wrong. She was being so raw and real to the point of where it didn't matter to her if she put out certain things that would expose who she is, and people found out who she was. At some point, she will come out. But I just don't feel the time is right yet. But day 4 of the 30-day positivity challenge was an amazing day. My lady's a little bit tired. We did have, a 3-hour drive out to Fresno and a 3-hour drive back. We also, stopped by her place on the way back, and we spent some time with her dogs. And it was just an amazing, amazing day, filled with pure, raw, and real emotions. And hopefully you folks had a great day too. Hopefully, you had as positive a day as possible. I know some people responded to a community post I did earlier this morning, and some of you are saying, "Oh, I'm trying to keep it positive, keep pushing forward, keep working through it, keep fighting through those demons because just being in a negative state of mind and just letting things get to you, it's not going to change whatever's bothering you. Sometimes you just got to let things go. You got to let people go, even people close to you, even family members. You got to let them go. And if it's meant to be, they'll come back down the road and they'll see, how they've mistreated you. Let people come back to you. It's tough on her and understandable. Hang in there, lady. Thank you, Angie C. I know this show was filled with emotion. I know it may have sounded all over the place because I cut out some parts of it. But again, I'm just trying to protect my lady. I love my lady. And today was one of the best days in her life and my life that we've had in quite some time. And I'm glad we could share it with you here. So see you all tomorrow. I'll be back for at least a Walking with Purpose stream tomorrow with day 5 of the Positivity Challenge, and possibly maybe a night show tomorrow. Maybe my lady Nell will come back tomorrow night. Have a good one. Take care, and as always, be good to each other.